It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Ravens and the Niners, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you had to feel for the 49ers and their fans in last year's NFC Championship game, seeing the quarterbacks go down. But Brock Purdy, after the elbow surgery, back to take over once again.
And an even more confident Brock Purdy. Remember how he took over last year and they got on that great run? Now, he'll be much more in command of the offense, understand it fully, and knows exactly who to get the ball to in order to produce points for this 49ers team.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, I think everybody seems ready to turn the page from 2022. A tough finish down the stretch. Some wacky plays in that loss to the Bengals in the wild card round. They just want to reset and come out swinging in 2023.
Oh, I love how you just expressed that. You're exactly right. Reset and come out and playing Ravens football again. And look, they had some anxious moments in the offseason. Now, a sigh of relief. They have their key pieces in place. They're ready to attack.
It's a rematch of Super Bowl 47 -1 Harbaugh. The Ravens and 49ers are underway. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. Leading them out, someone who took the league by storm last year is the most famous Mr. Irrelevant ever. From Iowa State, it's Brock Purdy.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
On first down, Purdy. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. McCaffrey running up the middle. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. Here is 3rd down and 4. As they've got it as we resume action. Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Purdy from the gun. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Throwing here, Purdy. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Purdy. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Once more, Purdy looking to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6.
A 34-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report. If you missed the first half, there's not much to get you caught up on. Just the lone field goal accounting for the entirety of the scoring. A 3-0 game to this point, as both defenses have been strong so far.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Just one field goal and a tightly played first half as we resume action here in quarter number 3. From his end zone, here comes Justice Hill. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
From the 21, here's a 2nd and 8. They go with Edwards left side. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
A third down now, and those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara.
This is 1st and 10.
It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
He finds the rookie, Zay Flowers.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Here's 1st down.
Now Jackson.
He'll go underneath, dropping it off to Edwards.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter.
Two timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10.
Jackson to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Here's Jackson. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar.
And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
2 timeouts still available. Keep that in mind. Here's 1st and 10.
On the draw is Edwards. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
Again, it's Edwards. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And now the timeout call. So 5 seconds left, and a field goal would send us to overtime. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they will tie this game here in the final seconds. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. is not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles, because my palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the third drive of overtime. And as we know from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Here's Purdy to throw. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs.
A little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space. If you make someone miss, that could turn into the big play you're looking for.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. To throw is Purdy. That is caught. He's going to have the 1st down and more than that. Touchdown, 49ers. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Jake Moody now for the point after. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals. as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson's throw complete there to Beckham. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
Now here's a pass on 1st down. It's knocked away and incomplete. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 35.
Partner, this is a pretty good drive they're putting together, and I know if I'm on the other sideline, that offense, kind of helpless, isn't it? Because they may not touch the football at all, because if they go down and score a touchdown, this thing's over.
Absolutely. That would write an ending to this script. We'll see what happens. Here's Jackson. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
He's got his target. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. He did not have a catch till that moment. Pretty good time for his first one, though, here in OT.
I would agree with that. And just think about how they had to cycle through all the play sheets, right? Tried to find ways to get a lot of people the football. In this case, as you said, he hadn't had a catch all game. Now they find him in a key moment. Really well done.
Now Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Edwards. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman on the touchdown throw from Lamar Jackson. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Sheds off the tackle. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
From the 22 now, here's the 2nd down and 9. Here's Purdy. Finding Samuel. Third and 3. Purdy to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they will get the conversion on 3rd down, but the clock, a more pressing factor.
So the OT clock hit 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Throwing, Purdy. That ball caught, Brandon Ayuk.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41.
Purdy to throw.
And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Purdy. He'll get this complete to Charlie Warner.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
Back to the ground on 1st, it's McCaffrey.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
So the OT clock hit 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this.
So it all comes down to the right foot of Jake Moody.
And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And the kick is good. And finally, this one is over. We thought it may never end. But that kick puts the exclamation mark on it. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, pass, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
But Charles, a very simple mission anytime that you play on your home turf, and that is to defend your home turf. And today, that mission was accomplished.
Look, every offseason, every preseason, the head coach goes in front of the team and says, the mission for